the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
PBBM inspects Metro Manila subway project's Camp Aguinaldo Station. AFP U.S. Navy hold 8 joint maritime drills in West Philippine Sea. Houthi attack survivors return to Philippines receive immediate medical and psychological aid. Philippine Coast Guard deploys underwater drone to search for missing sabongeros. Good day, everyone, as well as our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Thursday, July 17, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. In behalf of Rough Suzon, this is Jhai Simbajon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. inspected the construction of the Metro Manila subway project's Camp Aguinaldo Station in Quezon City yesterday. Joined by top officials including Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr., Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr., and Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon, PBBM praised the project's progress, commending the tunnel, boring machine, and Japanese engineers for their precision and expertise. The country's first subway system was spanned from Valenzuela to Parañaque, with 17 stations aiming to cut travel time to just 45 minutes and serve over 500,000 passengers daily. Moreover, Marcos expressed hope that Camp Aguinaldo Station will open by 2028.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines and the United States Indo-Pacific Command conducted their 8th bilateral maritime cooperative activity yesterday from Palawig, Zambales to Cabra Island, Occidental, Mindoro. The exercise involved Philippine Navy and Coast Guard vessels, aircraft, and U.S. assets including the USS Curtis Wilbur and a P-8A Poseidon patrol aircraft. Drills included communications, maritime domain awareness, contact reporting, coordinated ship maneuvers, and a visit board search and seizure operation. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. said the activity highlights both a nation's commitment to a free, open, and secure Indo-Pacific and emphasize respect for international law and regional stability.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Shah about 403rd Infantry Brigade marks its 52nd anniversary. Shah?
The 403rd Infantry Peacemaker Brigade celebrated its 52nd founding anniversary at Camp Osito di Bahian in Malaybalay City, Bukidnon, with a wreath-laying, flag-raising, and awarding ceremony. Bukidnon Governor Rogelio Neil Pepito Roque, the event's guest of honor, led a tribute to the heroism and sacrifices of the past and present soldiers. Military personnel received award for exemplary service, including Captain Brel Bato, who earned the Military Merit Medal with bronze and Nahaw Leaf. The week-long celebration carries the theme Peacemaker at 52, Valor through time, success in every step. This is Shaina Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shah.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Former rebels successfully completed the alternative learning system in Batuan, Masbate with support from the 96th Infantry Alab Battalion. The achievement of Roderick Dilao alias Reagan and his wife, along with Gerald Lumontad alias Mimay, forms part of the government's Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program. It aimed at helping returnees start anew through education and reintegration. Lieutenant Colonel Francis R. Espiritu, 96 IB Commanding Officer, emphasized education as a powerful tool against poverty and false ideologies, encouraging other returnees to seize similar opportunities for a better future.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD National News.
8 Filipino crew members who survived the Houthi attack on MV Eternity Sea in the Red Sea arrived at NAIA Terminal 1 last night. Department of Health Secretary Ted Herbosa and National Center for Mental Health personnel welcomed them and immediately provided psychological first aid and medical checkups following President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive. He stressed the trauma the seafarers endured without immediate help at sea. Herbosa then assured them of continued access to government hospitals for further support.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Jimboy about 31st Infantry Battalion leads anti-insurgency awareness drive in Daraga, Albay. Jimboy?
The 31st Infantry Charge Battalion successfully conducted an information awareness campaign in Barangay San Vicente Grande, Daraga, Albay in partnership with local official and government representative. The campaign aimed to educate residents on the threat of insurgency, the value of peace and government program under the NTF LCAC and ECLIP, which offer reintegration benefits for former rebel. Barangay official and resident welcome initiative, expressing full support for effort to maintain peace and counter radicalization and violence in their community. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine Coast Guard is intensifying its search for the missing sabongeros using a high-tech underwater remotely operated vehicle. The ROV systematically scans the seabed at 4.4 knots with a powerful 15,200 lumen light capable of reaching depths up to 350 meters and operating within a 746-foot theta range. Each mission is limited to 4 hours to ensure safety and efficiency. The ongoing search is a joint effort involving the Department of Justice, Philippine National Police, and PCG in compliance with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive to seek justice for the victims' families.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Agriculture expanded its 20 peso per kilo rice initiative to La Union and Baguio City. The National Food Authority and the Food Terminal Incorporated supplied 150 bags of rice, benefiting 750 individuals in Baguio City. Another 100 bags of rice were sold to 500 residents in Nagilian, La Union. The rice program is available to Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program beneficiaries, senior citizens, solo parents, and persons with disabilities.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Mike about 101st Infantry Brigade Commander strengthens peace partnership with new Davao de Oro Governor. Mike?
Brigadier General Felix Ronnie B. Babak, commander of the 101st Infantry Brigade, paid a courtesy call to newly elected Davao de Oro Governor Raul Mabanglo at the provincial capital in Nabungturan yesterday. The visit reinforced the partnership between the Philippine Army and local officials in sustaining the province's insurgency-free status. Brigadier General Babak emphasized the importance of continued collaboration, intelligence sharing, and support for people's organization to prevent any resurgency of unrest. Governor Mabanglo pledged full support for the Army's peace and development initiatives. Steering the security is vital to the province growth. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD National News.
And millions of Filipino farmers have benefited from the continuous agricultural production support of the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The Department of Agriculture cited extensive assistance through seedlings, machinery, fertilizer subsidies, and crop insurance. DA spokesperson Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa said these efforts have translated into higher mechanization levels of rice farmers in the country. He explained it helped increase the horsepower rating of the country that now follows the level of almost 3 horsepower rating of the ASEAN countries. The level of farm mechanization measures the degree of agricultural modernization in a country.
DWDD National News.
And Tropical Depression Christine maintains its strength while moving west-northwestward over the sea east of Bicol region. According to Pag-asa, 9 areas are under signal number 1. These includes Cagayan, Isabela, the northeastern portion of Aurora, Quirino, Kalinga, the eastern portion of Mountain Province, eastern portion of Ifugao, the northeastern portion of Nueva Vizcaya and Apayao. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon is affecting Mindanao and the western sections of Luzon and Visayas.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From Northern Luzon Command, let us hear some information from Joanne about Northern Luzon Command Chief visits 5th Fighter Wing Philippine Air Force. Joanne?
Lieutenant General Fernil G. Buca, Philippine Air Force, Commander of the Northern Luzon Command Armed Forces of the Philippines, together with the NOLCOM Command staff, conducted an official visit to the 5th Fighter Wing at Basa Air Base Florida Blanca, Pampanga on July 15, 2025 as part of his continuing engagement with NOLCOM's air component units. Brigadier General Leo A. Fontanilla, Philippine Air Force, Wing Commander of the 5th Fighter Wing, welcomed Lieutenant General Fernil G. Buca and led the unit briefing that provided an overview of the 5th Fighter Wing mission, core functions, operational capabilities, and current initiatives in support of the Philippine Air Force Air Defense Operation. Lieutenant General Buca interacted with the unit personnel and addressed matters related to operational effectiveness, mission support, and inter-service collaboration. In his remarks, the NOLCOM commander commended the 5th Fighter Wing for its significant role in securing Philippine airspace. He emphasized NOLCOM trust as jointly engaged, sustainment maintained, and readiness reinforced, and encouraged all personnel to remain matapang, masipag, magalang, and responsable in carrying out their duties. The visit is part of NOLCOM's commitment to strengthening operational readiness and unity of effort among its joint and service components. This is John Salak reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD National News.
And more than 4 million indigent senior citizens across the country are receiving support through the Department of Social Welfare and Development Social Pension for Indigent Senior Citizens program. The SPISC is granted for Filipinos aged 60 and above who are frail, sickly, or with disability and who have no regular income, pension, or financial support from their family. Under Republic Act 1191-6, the monthly pension was increased from 500 to 1,000 beginning January 2024. This reflects the government's commitment to help senior cope with cost of medicine and food. According to the DSWD, the program has reached a total of 4,085,066 indigent senior citizens.
DWDD National
And 3 out of 10 Filipino children ages 5 and below are stunted. Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa said stunting affects 26.7% of children under 5. Wasting stands at 5.5% and the overweight and obesity rate among adults reaches 40%. He pointed out how malnutrition reduces educational performance, economic productivity, and quality of life. Herbosa added that the Philippines has one of the highest stunting rates in East Asia and the Pacific, citing data from the 2021 Global Burden of Disease report, where dietary risks and malnutrition were among the top contributors of the country's disease burden.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
Now, some information from Glenn about Armed Forces of the Philippines and Ayala launched career program for retiring soldiers. Glenn?
Yes, the Armed Forces of the Philippines and Ayala Corporation launched the Saludo sa Serbisyo Career Assistance Program and signed a new Memorandum of Understanding at Ayala Triangle Gardens Tower 2, Makati City. The program offers training, job matching, and career counseling to retiring military personnel, extending Ayala support for uniform and civilian service members and their families. AFP Chief General Romeo Browner Jr. thanked Ayala for helping soldiers transition into civilian life, while Ayala President Cesar Consing reaffirmed the company's long-standing commitment to nations building and honoring public service. This is Glenn Gulchan reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Glenn Gulchan.
DWDD National News.
And Commission on Filipinos Overseas Chairman Dante Ang II cited the significant role of millions of permanent Filipino migrants to national development, including their contributions in remittances. Ang said many people still do not appreciate and acknowledge these contributions to their home country. Aside from OFW's huge contributions in remittances, he stressed that they were also called the Philippines' modern-day heroes. Meanwhile, Ang said his agency has been closely monitoring the campaign of the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump regarding deportation of Filipinos living there.
DWDD National News.
Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa has expressed his support for proposals seeking to either ban or strictly regulate online gambling. Herbosa pointed out that adverse effect of gambling is habit forming, which affects one's behavior. He added that addiction to gambling is a mental health problem and that many families are addicted to it because it's very accessible. Earlier this month, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri filed a bill seeking an outright ban on online gambling in the country, calling it a silent epidemic that is quietly harming Filipinos, especially minors and the most vulnerable.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear more updates from Beth about 68th Infantry Battalion and Pacific distributes school supplies to students in Occidental Mindoro. Beth?
The 68th Infantry Battalion and the Philippine Army Finance Center Producer Integrated Cooperative held a successful outreach activities at Pitugo Elementary School in Rizal, Occidental Mindoro. The initiative provided free school kits to over 335 students. The kits included bags, notebooks, pens, pencils, and others essential supplies. The activities highlighted the shared commitment of the military and cooperatives to support education and uplift young learners. This is Beth Tanyeta reporting for the AFP Community News, one AFP for the stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Beth Tanyete.
DWDD National News.
Metro Manila International Airport Authority asked airlines and security agencies to discipline their personnel who handled a jewelry box inadvertently left by a Singapore-bound passenger and not only failed to return it over to the lost and found section but even pocketed its contents. MIAA General Manager Eric Ines commended the Terminal 3 police and surveillance teams for their dedication in resolving this case. Even though the victim did not pursue legal action, Ines said they are coordinating with the concerned airlines and security agencies to ensure that those involved are held accountable. He added this behavior has no place in the airport.
DWDD National News.
And more than 44 kilograms of illegal drugs worth 304 million were seized by operatives of the Bureau of Customs at NAIA Terminal 3 of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Customs Commissioner Ariel Nepomuceno disclosed that the contraband was intercepted from two separate flights that arrived from Hong Kong. The drug shipment was detected by BOC X-ray inspection project personnel in the checked-in luggage during routine screening. The two suspects were turned over to the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency.
DWDD National News.
And for our final news, as authorities searched for the missing Sabongeros believed buried in Taal Lake, another operation found exhumed the remains of possible drug war victims from around the lake. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Rimulya said authorities were working to recover bodies that were buried around Taal in 2020, allegedly on the orders of police officers after none of the victims' relatives came to claim the bodies in funeral parlors. Rimulya said 3 bodies were exhumed on Wednesday from areas around Taal. The Department of Justice will set up a DNA bank to properly identify the remains recovered from the lake.
DWDD National News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience on our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time, same station. Again, this is Jhai Simbajon for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.